Genesis chapter 20. Abraham and Abimelech. Now Abraham journeyed from there to the south, and dwelt between Kadesh and Shur, and sojourned among the Gerarites. Then Abraham said of Sarai, of his wife, "She is my sister," for he was afraid to say, "She is my wife," lest at a given time the men of the city should kill him because of her. Now Abimelech, king of Gerar, sent and took Sarah. But God came to Abimelech in a dream by night and said to him, "Indeed, you are a dead man because of the woman you have taken, for she is a man's wife." Now Abimelech had not come near her, and he said, "O Lord, will you destroy an ignorant and just nation? Did he not say to me, 'She is my sister'? And did she not say to me, 'He is my brother'? I did this thing with a clean heart and righteous hands." Then God said to him in a dream, "Yes, I know you did this with a clean heart, and I spared you that you might not sin against me. Therefore, I did not allow you to touch her. Now therefore, restore the man's wife, for he is a prophet, and he will pray for you, and you shall live. But if you do not return her, rest assured, you shall die, you and all who are yours." So Abimelech rose early in the morning, called all his servants, and told all these things in their hearing. And the men were very much afraid. Then Abimelech called Abraham and said to him, "What have you done to us? How have I offended you, that you have brought on me and on a kingdom a great sin? You have done deeds to me that ought not to be done." Again Abimelech said to Abraham, "What possessed you to do this thing?" Abraham replied, "Because I thought, surely the worship of God is not in this place, and they will kill me on account of my wife. But indeed, she truly is my sister. She is the daughter of my father, but not of my mother, and she became my wife." So it came to pass, when God caused me to wander from my father's house, I said to her, "This righteousness shall you do for me. In every place we enter, say of me, 'He is my brother.'" Then Abimelech took 1,000 pieces of silver, sheep, oxen, and male and female servants, and gave them to Abraham, and he restored Sarah his wife to him. Thus Abimelech said to Abraham, "See, my land is before you. Dwell where it pleases you." Then to Sarah he said, "Behold, I have given your brother 1,000 pieces of silver, which will vindicate your honor before all those with you. But tell the truth in all things." So Abraham prayed to God, and God healed Abimelech, his wife, and his female servants. Then they bore children, for the Lord closed up all the wombs of the house of Abimelech because of Sarah, Abraham's wife. Genesis chapter 21. The birth of Isaac. Now the Lord visited Sarah as he said, and the Lord did for Sarah as he had spoken. For Sarah conceived and bore Abraham a son in old age, at the set time, of which God had spoken to him. So Abraham called the name of his son born to him, whom Sarah bore to him, Isaac. Then Abraham circumcised his son Isaac when he was 8 days old, as God commanded him. Now Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him. And Sarah said, "God has made me laugh. All who hear will laugh with me." She said, "Who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? For I have borne a child in my old age." Hagar and Ishmael sent away. So the child grew and was weaned, and Abraham made a great feast on the same day Isaac was weaned. Now Sarah saw the son of Hagar the Egyptian, who was born to Abraham, playing with Isaac her son. Therefore she said to Abraham, "Cast out this maidservant and her son, for the son of this maidservant shall not be heir with my son Isaac." And the matter was very displeasing in Abraham's sight because of his son. But God said to Abraham, "Do not let it be displeasing in your sight because of your son and your maidservant. Whatever Sarah said to you, listen to her voice, for in Isaac your seed shall be called. Yet I will also make a great nation of the son of your maidservant, because he is your seed." So Abraham rose early in the morning, and took bread and a skin of water, and put it on her shoulder. He gave it and the boy to Hagar, and sent her away. Then she departed and wandered in the wilderness, near the well of Oath. When the water in the skin was used up, she placed the boy under one of the shrubs. Then she went and sat down across from him, at a distance of about a bowshot. For she said to herself, "Let me not see the death of the boy." So she sat opposite him, and lifted her voice and wept. But God heard the voice of the lad from the place where he was. Then the angel of God called to Hagar out of heaven, and said to her, "What is the matter, Hagar? Do not fear, for God has heard the voice of the lad where he is. Arise, lift up the lad and hold him with your hand, for I will make him a great nation." Then God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. So she went and filled the skin with water, and gave the lad a drink. Thus God was with the lad, and he grew and dwelt in the desert, and became an archer. He dwelt in the wilderness of Paran, and his mother took a wife for him from the land of Egypt. Abraham's agreement with Abimelech. Now it came to pass at the time that Abimelech and his friend Okozath and Phicoloth, the commander-in-chief of his army, spoke to Abraham, saying, "God is with you in all you do. Now therefore, swear to me by God that you will not deal falsely with me, or with my offspring, or with my posterity, but that according to the righteousness I did to you, you will do to me and to the land in which you have dwelt." So Abraham said, "I swear." Then Abraham rebuked Abimelech because of a well of water Abimelech's servant had seized. Abimelech replied, "I do not know who did this thing. You did not tell me, nor had I heard of it until today." So Abraham took sheep and oxen and gave them to Abimelech, and the two of the men made a covenant. Then Abraham set 7 ewe lambs of the flock by themselves. Thus Abimelech asked Abraham, "Why have you placed these 7 ewe lambs by themselves?" He replied, "You must take these 7 ewe lambs from my hand to witness that I dug this well." Therefore he called that place the Well of Oath, because the two of them swore an oath there. Thus they made a covenant at the Well of Oath. So Abimelech rose with Okojaz, his friend, and Pichol, the commander-in-chief of his army. and they returned to the land of the Philistines. Then Abraham planted a field of the well at the well of Oath, and there he called on the name of the Lord, the eternal God. So Abraham stayed in the land of the Philistines many days. Genesis chapter 22. Abraham offers Isaac. Now it came time to pass after these things that God tested Abraham and said to him, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here I am. Then he said, Take now your beloved son, Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah, and offer him there as a whole burnt offering on one of the mountains I tell you. So Abraham rose early in the morning, and saddled his donkey, and took 2 of his young men with him, and Isaac his son. And he split firewood for the whole burnt offering, and arose and went to the place God told him. Then on the 3rd day, Abraham lifted his eyes and saw the place afar off. Thus Abraham said to his young men, Stay here with the donkey. The lad and I will go yonder and worship, and will come back to you. So Abraham took the firewood of the whole burnt offering and laid it on Isaac his son. Then he took the fire in his hand and a knife, and the 2 of them went together. Then Isaac spoke to Abraham his father and said, My father. And he said, Here I am, my son. Then he said, Look, the fire and the firewood, but where is the sheep for a whole burnt offering? And Abraham said, My son, God will provide for himself this sheep for a whole burnt offering. So the 2 of them went together. They came to the place where God had told him, and Abraham built an altar there and placed the firewood in order. And he bound Isaac his son's hand and foot, and laid him on the altar upon the firewood. Then Abraham stretched out his hand and took the knife to slay his son. But the angel of the Lord called to him from heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. So he said, Here I am. He then replied, Do not lay your hand on the lad, or do anything to him, for now I know you fear God, since for my sake you have not spared your beloved son. Then Abraham lifted his eyes and looked, and there behind him a ram was caught in a thicket by its horns. So he brought it for a whole burnt offering in the place of his son. Thus Abraham called the name of the place, The Lord has appeared. As it is said to this day, In the mountains the Lord was seen. Then the angel of the Lord called to Abraham a second time out of heaven, and said, By myself I have sworn, says the Lord, because you did this thing, and for my sake did not spare your beloved son, I will certainly bless you, and assuredly multiply your seed as the stars of heaven and as the sand on the seashore. And your seed shall inherit the cities of their enemies. In your seed all the nations of the earth shall be blessed, because you obeyed my voice. So Abraham returned to his servants, and they rose and went together to the well of Oath. And Abraham dwelt at the well of Oath. The children of Nahor. Now it came time to pass, after these things, that it was told Abraham, saying, Indeed, Milcah also has borne sons to your brother Nahor. Huz, his firstborn, Buz, his brother, Kemuel, the father of Aram, Chesed, Hazal, Pildash, Jidlaph, and Bethuel. And Bethuel begot Rebekah. These 8 Milcah bore to Nahor, Abraham's brother, his concubine whose name was Remuah. Also bore Tiba, Gaham, Bahash, and Ma'akai. Genesis chapter 23. The death and burial of Sarah. Now Sarah lived 127 years old. Then Sarah died in the city of Kirjath Arba, that is, Hebron, in the land of Canaan. And Abraham came to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her. Then Abraham stood up before his dead and spoke to the sons of Heth, saying, I am a sojourner and a stranger among you. Give me therefore a burial place among you, that I may bury my dead out of my sight. So the sons of Heth answered Abraham, saying, Hear us, my lord. You are king from God among us. Bury your dead in the choicest of our burial places. None of us will withhold his burial place from you, to bury your dead there. Then Abraham stood and bowed himself to the people of the land, the sons of Heth. Thus he spoke with them, saying, If you have it in mind for me to bury my dead out of my sight, then listen to me, and speak on my behalf to Ephron, the son of Zohar, that he may give me the cave of Machpelah, which he has at the end of his field. Let him give it to me at the full price, as a burial place among you. Now Ephron was sitting among the sons of Heth, and Ephron the Hittite answered Abraham in the presence of the sons of Heth, and of all who entered at the gates of the city, saying, No, my lord, hear me. I give you both the field and the cave within it. I give it to you in the presence of all my fellow citizens. Bury your dead. Then Abraham bowed himself before the people of the land, and he spoke to Ephron in the hearing of the people of the land, saying, If you are for me, hear me. I will give you money for the field. Take it from me, and I will bury my dead there. Ephron then answered Abraham, saying to him, My lord, listen to me. The land is worth 400 silver drachmas. But what is that between you and me? So bury your dead. So Abraham listened to Ephron, and Abraham weighed out the silver for Ephron, which he had mentioned in the hearing of the sons of Heth, the 400 silver drachmas, currency of the merchants. Thus the field of Ephron in Machpelah, which was opposite of Mamre, the field and the cave in it, and all the trees in the field, which were within all the surrounding borders, deeded to Abraham as his possessions in the presence of the sons of Heth, before all who entered the city. Then after this, Abraham buried Sarah, his wife, in the cave of the field of Machpelah, which was opposite Mamre, that is, Hebron, in the land of Canaan. So the field and the cave in it were deeded to Abraham by his sons, by the sons of Heth, as property for a burial place.